Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Quick Expert Reviews. So this is a long-term, 5 months long review of the XZ3 and some of its features and stuff that Sony does really well, and some of the stuff they don't really do that well. So first of all, we're going to start with the security updates and security and software updates themselves. So this phone is running on the February 2019 Android patch. It was one of the first phones, apart from the Pixels, to rock Android Pie as well. So yep, up to speed on that. In terms of benchmarks and performance, I know the phone is running on 4 GB of RAM and Snapdragon 845. But according to 3D Mark, Sony Xperia XZ3 can outperform 97% of phones in the list. Now, obviously, if you have the latest Samsung S10 or let's say an 8 GB OnePlus 6T, Sony might not be the fastest phone, but this is all in regards to synthetic benchmarks. In terms of gaming, I do have a gaming video of me playing the PUBG Mobile on ultra settings with 60 frames locked, and I haven't noticed any issues. To be honest, the whole operating system, the whole user interface is, in my opinion, flawless in terms of performance and everything. So that's obviously due to the user interface, which is very, very lightweight, very similar to the Android experience, stock Android experience. So yeah, there's really not much to lag or slow down in here. I haven't noticed any slowdowns, to be honest. It's actually faster than my iPhone 8 Plus. But yeah, in terms of gaming performance, like I did say, I do have a video of PUBG running on the phone itself. But the phone itself does have some of, in my opinion, biggest flaws that might put some people off. First of all, there is no support for Filmic Pro, one of the best video recording apps. I did actually reach out to Filmic, and I'll show you a reply in a second, and that also means that there is no support for the Gcam. So if you're thinking about installing Google Cam on your XZ3, unfortunately that's a no. That's due to camera to API support that Sony is not allowing on their phones, which is weird. And then there is also this thread on the Sony mobile forums, which is from 4 years ago, and as you can see, the latest reply is from Monday this year, and unfortunately still no go with the camera to API. Another flaw, in my opinion, is that the phone does support natively DualShock 4. However, the actual official Sony GCM, which stands for Gaming Controller Mount, GCM10 controller mount doesn't work with the XZ3 due to its design of the back, which is how they call it, well, not how they call it, but it's slightly curved. So unfortunately, the actual controller doesn't hold the phone. So yeah, it's weird considering it's a Sony controller paired to a Sony phone using a GCM controller, but obviously when they designed the GCM10, they designed it when the XZ2 and XZ3 was out. It actually works pretty well with the Xiaomi Mi 8, which I've got here to do a review of, which I'm working on as well. So yeah, it works absolutely spot on with the Xiaomi, but Xiaomi doesn't support it natively. So if you want to use the DualShock 4 controller, you potentially have to root your device. It does sometimes work with auto Bluetooth app, but other than that, yeah, that's what it is. In terms of the actual screen quality and the features, obviously, as opposed to the Xiaomi, which you've just seen, you do get full HDR support with the Netflix movies. Just type in HDR in the search bar. On top of that, in terms of the battery, the screen on time, you get around 5.5 6 hours. Not the best, but not the worst either. And then you've got the battery care at Qnovo adaptive charging, which means that if you charge your phone, let's say you go to bed between 10 and 8 in the morning, it's going to charge 90% between that's 10 and 7, and then the last 10% is going to top up between an hour before you wake up. Works pretty well. Haven't noticed any issues with the battery lasting more or less itself since I've got it since October last year. So yeah, it works pretty well. I've also seen people complaining about the speakers, the stereo speakers on the XZ3 being not that loud. To be honest, I think the Xperia 10 I've recently reviewed had a louder mono speaker, but other than that, in my opinion, the speakers were really well, especially when you listen to music or watch videos on Netflix. So yeah, let's have a listen. Now, in terms of Quirks, for example, the fingerprint sensor might have been positioned a bit higher, but I haven't had any issues with unlocking the phone itself. It works spot on. I'd love to have a face unlock as well, but yeah, it is what it is. In terms of the camera glass itself, it's smear free, so even if you touch it with your finger, it doesn't leave any finger marks, so you don't have to constantly clean the lens itself. Yeah, it works pretty well, and the actual phone does as well. So yeah, thanks for watching another episode of Quick Expert Reviews, and I'll speak to you soon, guys. Bye!